Hello, everybody. This is CJ. I'm in my kitchen in Shreveport, Louisiana, and let me tell you, I've got on this baking sheet here, the sheet pan. Uh, Hello, everybody. It's CJ Miller. I'm in my kitchen in Shreveport, Louisiana, and let me tell you, I'm in my kitchen, and what I have on this baking sheet pan here, this what you might call a cookie sheet or something. I actually use it for savory baking. I have normally I would line it with foil, but I don't have foil. But yeah, I keep my savory pans different, separate from when I use my uh, baking and bread pans. Bread, I can use some savory bread or sweet cooking like cakes or anything like that. But I keep that separate than the roasting that what I do the roasting pans with, uh, because you do get the buildup and the char after a while. But anyway, the secret, my kitchen hack for today are these meatballs. Now these meatballs are made with 4 eggs. They're made with a boxed stuffing mix that measures out. This is so cool. It measures 6 servings per box, and each serving of the stuffing mix is 21 calories. So you divide that into 12. Basically, uh, and so you add enough meat. This is a ground chuck. It's really good. Uh, it's a low fat, by the way. Like it's 90%. It's between 88 and 90%. They say 90%. That's great, but realistically, it's probably closer to 88%. But anyway, so you get enough meat, your eggs. I used a onion soup mix, which has a cursory amount. I think the whole package has like maybe 4 calories. I mean, not. Hello, everybody. It's CJ Miller in my kitchen in Shreveport, Louisiana, across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. And I'm here with a kitchen hack. Now, so I count my carbs, right? I count my carbs by the gram, and I'm not to exceed 50 grams in a 24-hour period on my keto diet. And so this is a really, really cool kitchen hack here. So these are some meatballs that I'm going to make that I can use whatever. If I want to just eat them as they are, or if I want to put them over something, it's easier to measure the carbs because uh, what it's stuffed with, I think I used a package of onion soup mix, which has, I think, maybe about 4 to 5 grams per package. It's a lower, so those are kind of cursory. That's not going to matter that much if you take those and you divide them into all these meatballs. It really doesn't register that much. Um, so then use as much meat as you would like to use, and then enough eggs. I have a preheating thing going. That's my preheat oven. It's at the temperature. So anyway, as much meat as you want, then you put in the package of soup mix. And if you want larger meatballs, use more meat. If you want smaller meatballs, use less meat, whatever. But keep one package of stuffing mix. That's your stovetop variety, whatever it is. Look at the measurement of carbs. Typically, it's about 6 servings per box, and each serving will cost you out of your keto. Excuse me. Hello, everybody. I'm CJ Miller. I'm in my kitchen in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I'm here with a kitchen keto hack. So, well, first of all, let me say I'm across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. Come check us out in Shreveport, Louisiana. We love visitors. We love to show you a good time. So, that being said, I do a keto diet most days. Some days I cheat, most days. And what I do is I really stay 50 grams of carbs carbohydrates or less, okay? Within a 24-hour period. So what I did with this, these are the meatballs. And if you want more meatballs, bigger meatballs, you use more meat. If you want smaller, use less meat. But the main thing, you want to keep this count. This is a good little hack here, because what I want to do is I want to just off the top of my head, I want to be able to keep track of my carbs. How many carbs am I consuming in a day? And so if I just have a random little number, I don't want to deal with it. So it's all about some division here. There is a onion soup mix in here that has some small amount of carbs. Divided over this, they add maybe about half a gram uh, of carbs. Like they don't, yeah, it really doesn't, like if that much. I mean, so incidental, so I'm not really worried about that. But the big thing is I'm using for that the meats enough to make these 12 balls, these 12 meatballs, and then 4 eggs. 1 egg per 3 meatball is what I like to do when I do something like this. And then I'm using a stovetop box, but you can use any brand of stove top style stuffing mix, variety of your choice. And when you look at your carbs and you divide that, and then what happens is that you have an easy way of counting your carbs. This is primarily what you're going to eat, and that's kind of cool, So what I'll do is each one of these meatballs gives me, I know that I'm eating about 10, maybe 11 grams of carbs, but 10 to be a little generous with myself for this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So with each meatball, there's 10 grams. And the reason why is the stovetop has 6 servings, and each one of the servings is 21 grams. That 1 gram per, if I ate 4, it'd be 21 grams. So, whatever. The little extra, that's not going to matter that much. What I do is just an easy way for me to count how many carbs I'm going to have if I'm going to be eating these meatballs. And I like to do that when I think of the food and I think about how I portion it out. I count the carbs because carbs are what matter most with the keto diet that I'm doing. And it's really good to think about it and talk about it. It's annoying to a lot of people, makes annoying videos. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the oven. You can do these on the stove, a skillet or something like that, or you could do them in a sauce or whatever. But remember to add, anything that you do, you want to look at the carbs that are in it. And of course, you want to look at the calories that are in it. You want to do things that have reduced sugar. And what's cool is that if you get some carbs that are fibrous, meaning that they're, fiber carbs, anything that's not a net carb, you get to deduct from your total amount of carbs. So let's see. This stovetop kit here probably does not have too many. Let's see. Dietary fiber. Aha. 1 gram. So that does mean that the net carb truly is 20 grams per serving, which breaks down to 10 grams per meatball. And then, I don't know, like I said, that soup mix added about 5 grams, but it didn't give me a breakdown on what was fiber, what was sugar, or whatever. But that's going to be so incidental. It's like whatever. So anyway, I'm going to stick with my initial count here. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the oven. I'm gonna take them out. They're roasted, and then that's great. They're gonna cook fast. These won't need to go more than like 10, 15 minutes. So I'll be back with you in a few. Although it'll seem like a really quick time for you if I quit talking. See you soon. Oh, hey, I know. I can talk about my plant for a little bit. It's an aloe vera domesticus or whatever. So typically, I will let you know, uh, I've been doing really, I got it towards the beginning of the month. I've been doing really, really well. This particular leaf was, where was it? It was on this stalk here, and it broke off. And so I tried, and I'm going to try to root it. So it's been about a week and a half, but I'm going to leave it here and see if it'll just not die. This one particular leaf. I treated it well. Let's see. It was had some color issues, but the color issues clearing up. That's kind of what's letting me know, hey, maybe it's gonna make it. If it doesn't, that's okay because the rest of the plant is doing very well. I'm hoping it'll grow roots and intertwine and have a joined root system. And who knows, Uh, but this right here, where I'm pointing at that right here, that was smaller when I got it than this little nub right here that I'm touching right here when I first brought it home. This is that plant. This is that thing I've been watching, and it's really just jumped up. And this too was a lot smaller, like maybe down to here. I don't know. I have to go back and look at some of the photos and pictures and stuff. But here's the thing. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with the way it's performing. When it's sitting in the windowsill and I feel like it's a little heavy, sometimes I'll take one of my little small maracas, which I think works well, and I'll just set it in there. I just watered this today. You don't water an aloe vera except every week and a half to 2 weeks. You wait until the soil is completely dry, and then you give it a good watering. And the reason why you do that is because you don't want the root. You want the roots to get a little dry. You don't want them to rot. You don't want them to get a damp rot or anything like that. So, and the way this has been performing, it's going to be okay. It's going to live. That's the main thing. I just don't want to kill a plant. It's like, oh my God, if I can't like almost an air breathing succulent that drinks water, if I can't keep this thing alive, it's like, oh my God. I do know the cycle of it. Periodically, it will go dormant and stop growing dramatically like it's been growing dramatically in this last month. And that's okay. That's to be expected. Every once in a while, the leaves, if they're not tempered, if they're not, the back and forth on this is that you want there to be enough sun exposure that the plants get healthy and form a strong coating of skin, but you don't want it. You don't want them. You don't want it so exposed that it grows too fast and too wide, because then you get that they grow too heavy and spread out, and before they form their skin, and so they're not healthy enough to prevent this type of breakage without some support. So that's the balance of a little bit of a sunlight, indirect sunlight, and then a moderate amount of watering. I've talked about this plant a lot. It's because I don't necessarily have a life of my own. I do have, like I said, I don't know if I've even talked about it. I talked with some friends. Yeah, I did. They asked me to go to a concert in early November, September, November, or whatever, I forget. But yeah, it's like, okay, I'll go. And two bands that I never heard of, Theory of a Dead Man and Skillet, and they're doing like a double header, at the concert. Like literally, just it's cool. So anyway, yeah, if you want to go back and look at the videos that I made of this plant when I first got it. This one was way the hell down there. So it's fun. It's fun to do something like this, and you come and look at it, and it's a little bit different every day. Uh, but if you think about what it looks like when I think back, it's like, wow, this thing really is growing. There's potential to it. So uh, one of these was already broken off when I got it, and one of them, this one, is a solid clean break. But I do see that the break was down here, I think. So I think it has grown out a little bit. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that this part's not my imagination, and I'm hoping that uh, the sickly color, that really deepish green or whatever. I mean, it was not doing so well. I really hope that it is going to do better. So we'll see. And I'm anxiously looking forward to uh, what else is going on. What else is going to happen with this plant? These plants, when you grow them, when you get them and they're pups or whatever, this was already kind of growing. But it takes a good 2 years or so for an aloe vera plant to reach maturity. And then they can live up to 12 years. And in that time, they'll spring off new pups that you can transplant and grow and everything like that. So I'm hoping to, if I do okay with this plant, then I'm hoping to kind of like specialize in this and then maybe turn this room that I have into an arboreum of like little plants that I can work with and stuff like that, and it's something that it could be a fun little hobby while I'm learning about some other little things too, Okay, so I'm just killing time, but yeah, I wanted to show like, whoa, this plant, because I haven't done like a video, I don't think, of this plant in at least a week and a half or something like that. And I do know that I feed it like a good fertilizer, a good plant feed, something that's suited towards it. And I'll have to go to a garden center or something like that and pick something up. And it's due to be fed next week. You should do that about once a month. And then we should really see a boost out of it, So we'll see. Let's see. Okay. Pretty soon, those meatballs will be done. Hey, so it's CJ Miller, and so basically I have the meatball here that I've made. The meatball has about 10 grams of carbs. There is approximately 1 to 2 grams in this barbecue sauce that I have twizzled onto the plate there, and no carbs in the provolone cheese that I'm just gonna like cut into this and tear it with a fork and stuff. So that's kind of cool. So let's taste it. And this is cool. You can get right into it. If it's a little bit pinkish on the inside, that's okay. But actually, it went all the way. Cook it all the way down. That's good. Because I was hoping for well done meatball. If it's a little bit underdone, I don't mind. I just don't want one that's raw. 350, and then just kind of like work with it. Wasn't that long. Maybe 15, 20 minutes. Okay, so. Good meatball meal. I'd rather do a little bit of light condiment on the plate rather than, ladling it with tomato sauce or something like that, because the more condiments that we use, the more carbs that we stack onto it. Literally, quotes, I kind of want to stay within my range these days of 50 grams of carbs or less. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to have a little bit of self-discipline, especially with food, and that's not always easy to do. I don't particularly crave sweets and things like that, but every once in a while my body will be like ice cream or something like that, or cheesecake or something, and it's like, let me just back off of that, save it for the holidays or something. You know what's funny? We had desserts on the holidays at my house, and not a lot of people actually ate the dessert while they were here because we really munchies, the preemptive, the charcuterie and the nuts and the little candies and stuff that we had around. That's what people filled up on, and then people would like fix a plate and kind of munch a little bit on the main dinner, the turkey or the ham or something like that. And everybody had their little something. But, I mean, people really didn't fill up on that because we were already full from the snacking before everything got served. That we never even got around to dessert. So like the holidays, I like, send people home with desserts and stuff. And knowing that, next year for desserts and everything like that, instead of making so many different desserts, I'm going to make maybe a variety of cupcakes and little small pies and things like that. And people can take those home and they can divide up easier. But I was sending people home with like whole bundt cakes and triple layer cakes and stuff like that over the holidays that we didn't get around to eating. And I'm a cake person versus a pie person, but we had some good. There was some stuff that we do have this great store-bought chocolate cream pie. I think you might know the one, the turtle chocolate cream pie that just everybody loves. So I don't know, but here we go. So this one meatball pretty much has filled me up, and it will be my dinner. I don't know. I don't know. It's like it gets a good coating on it and everything like that when you roast it in the oven like that. Just put it on a pan and put it in the oven, and yeah. And then whatever kind of little whatever sauce, I just did like a little twizzle, twister or whatever. A spiral. That's what I did. I did a spiral of barbecue sauce and then some cheese. And I think it might actually be the stuffing mix because that's a breading. But when you eat it and it gets in your stomach, I mean, that actually swells up due to the, the way that the processing and everything, as bread will tend to do in the stomach, swell up. So, like, it's great. What would be great on this would be to get something that was maybe do a meatball, but have some ground up whole grain. So it wouldn't be whole grain anymore, but it would be grain. And use that in the meatball. Because grains are a good source of proteins and fiber, as well as the amount of carbs that you would need. Of course, I would have to think about measuring out whatever kind of carbs were in the meatball. But that could be sort of a heart healthy way to go. You have a low-fat condiment, and then set a meatball that is made with a meatball that is made with the grain, stuffing. Wheat flour. It is a grain, but it's bleached. So and even the stuffing mix that I used was probably made with bleached flour. So that's one of the things that when you do use a flour and everything like that, you do lose some nutrients in that process. And I think that's why they try to steer you towards foods that are not overly processed, nutritionalists and stuff. So they want us to do grains. So what can I do? Well, okay, oats. Oats would probably be really good. I don't necessarily know that oatmeal. I've known that people have used oatmeal in a meatloaf and stuff like that, but for me, I don't really like oatmeal. That'd probably be great for some crunched up oats or something like that. I don't know. Um, we'll see. We'll see. I'll look around. I'll find some sort of way to incorporate heart healthy into the meatball. Uh, in time to come. I don't know whenever that's coming. We'll get to it. I'd love to tell you it's coming soon, but I got other stuff to worry about. Not that I'm worried, but everything's good, man. I want the plant to come out. Let me get this out of here. I want my plant to come out well. So that's good. I was told to get this product called bone meal, and it's for plants, and it's to help give strength to plants and help them take root, and it's really good. So we'll try on that. And then anyway, that was a really good meatball, guys. Okay, love and light. God bless. Good night.